You're not Ross.
Well, I'm just over here doing my best Ross impression, right?
Say something about math, quick. 2 + 2 is 3. Okay, you're not doing a very good Ross impression. Anyway, I'm Todd Anderson. You are.
I am Emma Handy.
Yeah, and Emma's going to be joining us today on Versus Live. Now, Emma, you recently got picked up by Star City Games to do commentary on the SCG Tour, right?
Oh my God, is that? You do that too, right?
I do that too.
Oh my God, what a small world.
Yeah. So Emma's joining us today. Ross is out of town visiting family, and then next week you're going to be back for next Thursday as well, right? Because Ross is going to be gone for the Mythic Championship in London. So we're going to see a lot of Emma Handy over the next week. It's going to be a lot of fun where we're playing War of the Spark in Standard today. Tell us about the deck you're playing today.
Okay, so the first deck that I'm going to be playing is a Mardu Aristocrats deck. I wasn't really sure what kind of decks I wanted to bring on here. I lurk a bunch and watch. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I thought, I've written 3 articles as of this morning on previews from the new set. Let's just take a deck list from each one of them and run them in and see how it goes.
Cool deal.
I've played a lot of little kid aggro decks.
Sure.
These are the go wide creature decks. Play a bunch of little things. They're good enough at killing you or they're not. With the new card, Cruel Celebrant, you kind of get paid even if your cards aren't good enough because you hurt them if they kill them.
Yeah, and I think that is one of the coolest parts of Cruel Celebrant. It's one of those creatures where it actually has power, unlike Blood Artist. But if your opponent ever hits you with a Wrath effect, like a Cleansing Nova or Kaya's Wrath, you're going to dome them for like 3, 4, 5 points of damage, which really hurts them. And then other times, if you're just playing against another creature-based deck, you send in all your creatures, and then some get through and some get blocked and die, and you still get to keep chipping away and gaining life back in the meanwhile.
Yeah, exactly. You end up in a bunch of situations where they're kind of, darned if you do, darned if you don't, where you go, all right, well, you're at 5.
This is PG. We can say damn.
Oh, nice.
I can also say hell. I've been saying hell a lot lately. Rob, don't you laugh at me. I take what I can get, okay? I got to keep it PG. It's not easy.
Well, what if... Whatever.
All right, so
my brain's recalibrating to the not swear words.
Yeah, Cruel Celebrant, this is one of the new cards, but you also have Dreadhorde Butcher in your deck, right?
Yes, so that's one that's actually kind of near and dear to my heart, just because there are a lot of comparisons being drawn to Slith Firewalker out of the original Mirrodin set, and I first started playing in Mirrodin.
Nice.
So I saw that, and it was just like almost nostalgia to just go, I remember that. Yeah. I remember that. But it actually has some really cool interactions in this deck. I know we were playing some pickup games, trying stuff out, and I had Dreadhorde Butcher and Footlight Fiend and, Cruel Celebrant in the deck. They actually work really well with Gutter Bones, where if you kill them on your turn, it's a way I can recur the Gutter Bones without even having to attack. Yes. And that's a really cool dynamic. It's also just a really strong get 'em dead curve to have Gutter Bones on 1, that on 2.
Dreadhorde Butcher,
let's go to town.
That's already 3 damage, and then if they ever actually kill their Dreadhorde Butcher, they're taking 2, or sometimes you're throwing 2 damage at one of their blockers, and that's I think one of the really cool parts of Dreadhorde Butcher. Now, we've had something pretty similar to this Mardu Aristocrats deck on Versus Live before, but this is Emma's version, and I let Emma pick all 3 of her decks, obviously, just to showcase some of her work over on StarCityGames.com. You said you had an article out today?
I do.
All right. After you watch Versus Live, make sure to check it out. Anything you want to say about it?
It's Tamiyo. I love Tamiyo. I got to preview the last Tamiyo when it came out in Eldritch Moon. So when I saw there was a new Tamiyo, I was like, well, I gotta.
Okay, nice. So that is Emma's article today. Make sure to check that out after Versus Live today. You're going to be playing against the Mardu Aristocrats. Going to be playing against Blue Eye Control from me. Now, actually, today on Star City Games, I wrote about Commence the End Game. Now, this 6-mana instant draws 2 cards, can't be countered, and you amass X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So, in a lot of ways, this card functions similarly to Torrential Gearhulk. You play it for 6 mana, you get a body, and you get an effect out of it. Now, the body is usually going to be pretty big, especially if you play cards in your deck that cycle or draw extra cards, things like Chemist's Insight, Revitalize, these incidental cyclers and stuff. And then at some point, you're going to spend 6 mana during combat or at the end of your opponent's turn, and you're going to eat a creature or, sometimes it trades for a removal spell, but you still get to draw 2 cards, and your opponent can't counter. And I think that is the most important aspect of the card.
Yeah, I actually really like the comparison you're drawing to Torrential Gearhulk. When it first got previewed, a lot of people kind of went, oh, new Mole Drifter. Yeah. But it's only a Mole Drifter if you don't have any cards in your hand. It's much closer to a Torrential Gearhulk flashing back Hieroglyphic Illumination.
Right.
And that kind of defined Standard for, a year, 2 years?
Yeah, and obviously you don't get the versatility of Torrential Gearhulk, but you don't have to be as good as Torrential Gearhulk to be a good Magic card.
Yeah.
And I think Commence the Endgame complements these draw go decks pretty well. Just sit on your hands. Your opponent has a really tough time playing around both Settle the Wreckage and Commence the Endgame. You hold up 6 mana. What are they supposed to do? They attack with 1 creature. Okay, make a 6/6 block.
Exactly.
They attack with 4 creatures. Settle the Wreckage. All your creatures die. So you put them in this very tough situation where maybe there's not a right answer.
Yeah, there's always just this tension with flash decks in general. With the more unique effects you have in the deck, the harder it is to play around all of them. So you end up in a spot where you're like, well, I guess I'll make them have it. And if you have it, you kind of just win the game sometimes.
Right.
A lot of the times.
Now
all the times.
Yeah. At the beginning of this past previous Standard season, we actually saw a Bant flash deck in the hands of Jonathan Hobbs. He actually got 2nd place. I believe it was Indianapolis just a few months ago.
Correct.
Where he had, Frilled Mystic, Angel of Grace, a couple other cards with basically instant speed or flash speed. And I'm sure that he won a lot of games because his opponents just have no idea. How do you play around Angel of Grace and Frilled Mystic and Settle the Wreckage? And the more of those instant speed powerful effects you have in your deck, it just becomes so tough for your opponent to choose the right path. And I think that is one of the strengths of playing these big instant speed spells.
Right. And, this is actually one of the instances people put a lot of stock in people not knowing what you're doing. Earlier in a format, especially when you're playing with new cards,
Boom.
It is so easy to just get people where they're not used to playing around things. If you think back to Shadows over Innistrad when Archangel Avacyn was fresh, you just hold up 5 mana and someone attacks and you just go, good luck.
I can't tell you the first weekend, whatever Voice of Resurgence set, so many people just didn't read that card and they're just like, I'll Azorius Charm it. And I'm just like, okay.
You know what?
I'm going to put a thing into play. Anywho, Robbo, do we have any questions from Twitch chat for Emma?
Yeah.
Let's ask Emma a bunch of questions.
So when you win today, what are you going to do with the marbles?
God.
How many marbles are there, actually? Do we have a count?
I believe it is close to 100.
Close to 100? I will give Todd close to 99 of them.
Okay. I actually told Ross that as a sign of good faith, for every game you won, I would give you a marble. If you lose the match, and if you win the match, you just get all of them.
Okay, so I'm doing a leather jacket today, so I'm kind of just channeling my best Tom Ross as I can. I know we both like Infect a lot. He's obviously been with SCG forever. I'm all right. Well, if there's someone who I can just try to bring him in, I'll do that. So I'll have to send him some of them as we'll call it a tip. Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
One for you, Todd. What do you think about Commence the Endgame in Team Reclamation? Is that a card you're looking to slot in there?
Oh, yeah. Well, in my article today on Cersei Games, I talked a bit about the Simic Nexus version, and Emma's actually playing that today, and I convinced her to play one copy of Commence the Endgame in her version over Hydroid Crisis, because at instant speed, it actually functions as a slightly better win condition, especially with Tamio.
Yeah, having the recursion element with it is actually incredible in there, and it even has the benefit of being really hard to exile. You can't syncopate it. You can't Vraska's Contempt it.
Yeah.
You really only need one kill con in the deck at that point, and that's a big deal with these engine kind of combo-y decks, to not have to clog up your draws with too many end game effects.
Mm-hmm. I do think it might see some play in a Teamer Reclamation deck, but I think the Teamer version specifically have enough win conditions with Niv Mizzet, and I think Niv Mizzet's busted, so I don't want to replace it with that. But I think that there might be a different blue-green X Reclamation deck that might want Commence the Endgame as the top-end card, because, that draw 2 effect combined with a win condition is so powerful in a strategy that just tries to do so many things with its mana. We talked a bit about Rao's Outburst a few weeks ago, where we just want things that draw cards and do a thing. And Commence the Endgame is awesome. Rouse Outburst is awesome. Both these cards give you a huge effect affecting the battlefield while also keeping the gas flowing, which is just perfect for a mana engine deck.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's even a point where you have so many of these effects that draw cards and do something where you're almost like, how bad do I need the Reclamation? Like, Reclamation is this kind of combo control deck where how many of the combo elements do you need if your control deck's always firing on all cylinders? So there's even a point where it could fuel some sort of deviation from the shell where, you know, you can have the same early-ish plays, but the way you're ending the game is just completely different.
Oh, I like that. All right. Anything else before we get started?
Yeah, Emma, how come there's no Priest of the Forgotten Gods in your deck? Too slow, or are you just trying to build it differently?
So the thing about Priest of Forgotten Gods, I don't actually like that card very much. It's a card that forces you to already be ahead for it to do actual anything, and you need every single bit of its text to be relevant for it to really be worth the payoff, right? If the black mana is not very good, that kind of feels bad. If they don't have a creature to sacrifice, you're kind of down card advantage. It just takes a ton of setup, and these Aristocrats decks tend to be pretty great if you just have a ton of cards in play. So I would rather have pieces that don't demand you have other pieces to be good. Obviously, we have things like Cruel Celebrant, but Celebrant's at least like a bear.
Right.
And I don't know, it feels like there are a lot of things that can go in the deck, and I just thought it was kind of, you know, we'll say the 70th card in our 60 card deck.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfectly fine. I also think with stuff like heroic reinforcements, and you're actually just a bit more aggressive, whereas something like Priest of the Forgotten Gods is way more of a mid-range card where you're just trying to slowly and incrementally take over the game with these effects after effects after effects, and you're just doing these big explosive turns and hoping to get your opponent dead before their stuff really gets online.
Exactly. The grindy card that I'm kind of leaning towards is more Sorin, which is just trying to make my deck more redundant rather than provide a bunch of different effects. And, you know, especially when building aggro decks, I kind of subscribe to the philosophy that you want your primary game plan to be good. So just make it to where your deck is as good at implementing its primary game plan as possible. And Priest of the Forgotten Gods is kind of more of another angle than actually the MO.
Alrighty. Well, that's enough for questions for now. We'll take some more when we come back from sideboarding. Let's go and get to the match. And since you're new here, feel free to go first.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I also just want to be on the draw. Have you seen my deck?
7 cards.
You're also not even hyping the brand new playmat that we have.
Oh, I'm sorry, because you haven't put it on camera until just now, or not even yet.
Yeah, but you could have mentioned it, and then I would have gone to it.
Well, maybe you should have just told me when we were going to the top down, and I was like, okay, are we top down now?
Yeah, we are.
Hey, look at this new playmat. It's great. Star City Games versus Live. Good branding. Love it.
You got mustard in my ketchup.
You got ketchup on my hot dog. I didn't know where you were going with that. I just kind of went with it. I don't know.
Look, all I know is these look like, so it looks like it's from like a ballpark or something. I dig it. Don't get me wrong.
I think the graphic designer is going to be very mad at you for a second. I think it looks great.
They know where to find me.
Yeah, in the club.
Okay.
Or on the Old Town Road.
So I'm going to keep this. Do you all frequently play as if you know what the matchup is?
Yes, always.
Okay.
Well, most of the time. Game one, sometimes we don't. But, I mean, if your hand is just, like, generically okay, but might have one dead card, we usually just keep it. But if it's, like, 2 removal spells against the Azorius control deck, feel free to mulligan. I don't.
Yeah, no.
No bad games here on Versus Live. Bowl to 7. I don't care.
No, it's much more about sequencing than anything like that. But in that case, I mean, I'm keeping this either way. It just changes how I play.
Just play how you know the matchup.
Okay, cool.
All right, and I'm going to keep my hand too. My hand's pretty okay. Got a decent curve. Just need to draw some lands.
Okay, so this is the thing that we want to be doing on turn 2 the most. So even though this saves us a little bit of life to cast this, we're actually going to shock this into play, because if we draw a check land, we can cast this on turn 2.
Mm-hmm.
And life doesn't really matter in the matchup.
True that.
So all right, we're going to go to 18.
Go to bones. Good. Island your go. Best
lucky.
land.
Okay, well, we're shocking again. But that's okay. We'll find a way to power through this trying time.
18 all.
18 all, and then I'm going to go to 16 and cast the Hero of Precinct 1.
That's not great.
What? It's so great.
Go.
Well, you are dead. I hope.
What if I have Syncopate?
What if? Trigger.
Yeah, you get the trigger.
I will be creating... Where are my Aaron Barrages? We found them.
They were literally next to your hand when you started reaching.
All right. I would like to move to my combat step.
Okay. I don't have taps.
I think I'm okay with either of these getting seal awayed. So we'll just let him pick which one.
Pick this one.
All right. 3.
Yep.
15.
Yep. I'm in trouble. Nope. You were not wrong. Go.
Come on. Close. All right, so none of these really get haste or anything. There's not an upside to casting any of them pre-combat, so... Oh, do we want to offer Judith into another cast down? I think, especially when we have these in our hand, it is actually similar or more damage to just wait and not do it that way. So we're just going to attack like this for now.
If you would like to kill it in response, that's fine.
Fine. You take 2.
13.
And then we are going to cast a pair of Footlight Fiends.
Yikes.
Go.
Okay. I have a bad sleeve. Don't mind me. Just going to replace it. We have a lot of different creature collection sleeves here on Star City, and sometimes they get mixed in. It's okay. It's okay. I will play a land and say go. And I definitely don't have Settle the Wreckage. Take that however you like.
6.
16. Alright, I'll take 6. I'm at 10.
Yeah, you are. There's actually a strong chance we should have done this, but I think this is okay. So we are going to go ahead and do this, because ideally we're doing this next turn and spending all of our mana anyway. And either way, we have our mana tied up for a little bit. And if he has a Cleansing Nova, this is worth 2 points this way. So this is one of those, like, damned if you do, damned if you don't situations where you either take 3, or if you kill everything, you take, like, 1,000,000.
Oh.
3rd, correct?
Yep.
Good talk.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm dead. Don't draw a land. Don't draw a land. Don't
Your
you
wish
do it.
is my command.
Yeah.
You're at 10.
I'm at 10.
1, 2, and 3, and 4. And, oop, that's not the one.
Oh.
And 5.
Okay, take 5. I'm at 5.
And I'm actually going to put you to 3.
Okay.
And the reason we're doing this is now Cleansing Nova is not an out.
True.
Actually, it already wasn't an out because you have this Dreadhorde.
Do you want to do 1 to this and put me to 4?
Yeah, I'm going to put 1 here, put you to 4. Dreadhorde Butcher makes it to where Cleansing Nova isn't an out anyway.
Yeah.
So you're at 4. Go ahead.
All right, I need to settle the wreckage, please. Go.
All right, well, Lord knows he's a bluffing man. Well, that makes things interesting. So this is a weird spot where he is doing actual nothing to pressure us. We know our next card is Judith.
True dat.
I actually think since we can almost just instant speed kill him, and he's at 4, we're just going to keep it so Cleansing Nova doesn't have a text box. And if he settles, we get to cast this anyway. So I guess we want to force him to settle. It doesn't quite force it, but we can just kill him instantly. So if he lets this resolve. So we're just going to attack for 3.
All right, I'm going to commence the endgame. I don't think this is going to work, but I'm going to try. Make a 5/5. I will block their embarrassed token.
You take 2, go to 2, and I'll mortify Dreadhorde Butcher.
Rats. You got me.
Got him.
Yeah. A little bit too fast of a start.
I mean, that was basically the draw, right? Like, that's the reason
Oh, yeah.
people play these decks, is to go
Well, you didn't even do the
Gutter Bones Hero
Heroic
Judith.
Reinforcements kill me on turn 4 draw. Like, if you just drawn a land, I'm pretty sure I died on turn 4. That would have been nuts.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. We'll go to sideboarding in just a moment. Anything pressing before we do?
We did have.
Oh no, we need to do 2 pre-board, 1 post-board. We stopped doing. Yeah, I want to play more pre-board. Sorry, go ahead.
That's fine. Also, Emma, any thought on Bantu, or is that another card that like you need to be too far ahead for it to be great?
Bantu costs 5 in your aggro deck. Also, on the other hand, like Bantu's not actually applying pressure. Like, it feels good to sacrifice things and draw cards, but if you have that many resources, why are you what are you hoping to draw instead, right? You're kind of just hoping to turn your creatures on the battlefield into more creatures. Like, if you have a bunch of Cruel Celebrants, cool, but you're already kind of in magical Christmas land anyway.
Yeah, I think there's probably a Azorius or Mardu mid-range deck that's very Aristocrats-esque, where you're not actually attacking a whole lot, and you want to draw Bantu once like the board has stalled or whatever. And I think that might be like a Priest of Forgotten Gods deck with a whole bunch of creatures with Afterlife or whatever. And so that once you hit 5 mana, you actually do just get to sacrifice a bunch of creatures and still maintain like a pretty sizable battlefield. I'm not 100% though, but I do think Bantu is good. We've had it in 2 or 3 decks so far, and we just have not drawn it, let alone cast it. So
sure.
I'm going to keep my hand. I'm on the play for game 2 here.
I really want to keep this because this is strong, but this is really not strong. So I think we're supposed to go lower, even if it feels a little rough. Another thing about my list in particular, it's a pretty big signal about the kinds of cards you want to have is Footlight Fiend. Yep. It's not exactly a strong magic card, but it does play very well with a lot of what the smaller cards in the deck are doing.
Yeah. I also want to point out that like when you play a card like Heroic Reinforcements, you're signaling very clearly that is the top end of your curve. You want that card to kill them.
Yeah.
And even if you do go a little bit bigger, you want that 5-drop that you play to also kill them. And Bantu doesn't do that unless you have a Cruel Celebrant. I think that, those 2 cards are basically at odds as far as Magic theory is concerned.
Right. It's a situation where, we talked about Priest of the Forgotten Gods earlier.
Yeah.
That's a card that would be great with Bantu.
Right.
If you're just trying to sacrifice things for value, and it even ramps out your Bantu, which is pretty attractive. Mm-hmm. But if you're trying to attack, Bantu is not actually very good at that, because it's just a 5-mana 5/5 for 5.
More to 6.
That's great. I appreciate you.
All right, so one for you, Todd. In your blue-white deck, given that you're playing 3 blast zones, would you give any thought to playing something other than Seal Away? Maybe Warden, just because of that kind of bad interaction?
So I actually think this version of the deck is probably not that great. Did we get it switched on Cardboard Live, by the way?
Oh, I forgot.
So just FYI, Absorb is actually Sinister Sabotage because we have Blast Zone as one of our lands. So along with the plains, I didn't want too many non-blue sources. So there's a bit of tension there, having blue, white. So we are playing Sinister Sabotage instead. So minor correction. And you'll probably see a graphic in the next few minutes or whatever that's going to show Absorb, and just ignore that. Now, I will say that I want to play a version that has Augur of Bolus, and in that scenario, it's better for Blast Zone, it's better to play Warrant Warden, and it's also better for Augur of Bolus to play Warrant Warden over Seal Away. So there's probably a version that does that. Now, I'm not 100% that this build is actually good. There's probably impetus to be playing... did you go 6 again?
Yeah.
Tight. Your turn. There's probably a good reason to be playing something like Esper Control instead of blue-white anyway, so just so we can play more things.
Cute.
You're going to attack anyway, but now it's
18.
Man, I can't beat this card.
That's
kind of the problem.
Good for me.
My removal is all very reactive, so cards like Hero Precinct 1 gain a significant amount of value like as they're sitting on the battlefield, and without aggressive removal, like all of our removal is like Seal Away or Search or Settle the Wreckage. Cleansing Nova is really the only card that cleans up Hero pretty well, and you can see all the Esper decks move towards Cry of the Carnarium for like the Mythic Championship, Mythic Invitational and things like that. So
right,
or both actually, but.
All right, so here's a really weird line that may end up biting me. So next turn is going to be a Settle the Wreckage turn, so we're probably not going to attack with this anyway. We also don't really want to expose this to any removal, like Seal Away.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just not going to cast that, and we're going to attack for 2.
18.
And before damage, we're going to Integrity, trigger,
16.
and then we're going to Integrity, trigger.
All right, so we're taking 6 damage. You get 2 Iron Birches.
Yep, and these actually are worth the same amount or more damage as the Judith because they get pumped by Judith as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, so trigger search for Skanta. I will keep. And I'll go ahead and seal away this.
Perfect.
And say go.
Also, Todd, Ross says he's glad to know you're putting your best effort towards saving the Marvels.
Is that a dig?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, that's fine. I'm at 10.
Go.
You have 2 cards.
I do have 2 cards.
Go.
I assume since you lost the game, probably is.
I mean, I got crushed. I don't know. I'm sorry. Look, I'd rather have good games than like set things up where I win, right? Honestly, I'd rather someone else have the marbles that's not you, even if it's not me. So, anyone but Ross. This is also kind of the problem with Settle the Wreckage in general, is that, like, it's, you know, if you're not applying pressure, they don't really have to attack into it. They can just chip you.
Yeah, I'm just going to do that. God, it's rough. I wonder, actually, let's do this. Yeah, got him.
He did.
So, the reason we did this is we have another Judith
Tilt.
we are casting, and we wanted extra lands so we can stop getting stuck on mana. Oh, did I not put enough basics in this?
You better have at least 2 basics. I think.
Okay, God, thank Christ. I thought I had put 2 swamps, but...
Ruh-roh. Pretty sure I'm about to get heroic next turn, so let's find a counter spell. I have to bottom this.
Oof.
I mean, I can cast it now, I guess, and just take 2. Or it's non-token, right?
Yeah, it's non-token.
Okay, so maybe it's not that bad. Sorry. This is the
You're
top
good.
card underneath the Cleansing Nova. So if I just cast it this turn, I take 1 down to 9. You heroic me down to 5. Okay, that's fine. Let's go and clear.
You're at 9.
Your turn.
So I don't actually have heroic.
Oh, that's good news.
I have Sorin, Vengeful Bloodlord,
Yikes.
which is going to go to 1 and bring back Judith. Go.
Okay.
She's a vampire.
Wasn't she already? Am I missing
No,
something?
she's a human shaman. Also a diva.
It's true. I'm going to go to 12.
Alright.
I haven't hit a land drop yet, so I'm going to actually just main phase of Chemisters and draw 2 and play my land and say go. We're going to play it during Emma's Instep no matter what, because we want to turn on Search for Skanta. So
I gain 1.
All right, 11 to 19. That's what I got. And then I'll go to 9 and you go to 21.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we will cast Hero Precinct 1, and then we will cast Footlight Fiend. Trigger. Go.
All right. Trigger, graveyard, transform, draw for turn.
Well, he's still playing.
Oh,
This should be -2. Yeah.
Yep.
Caught it right as I looked down.
+2.
It is +2 to deal 1.
I'm gonna plus this to fairy.
Yep.
Draw a card.
Hurry!
Nice. Here you go.
Who needs arena, right?
I ultimated Teferi once. So I was playing.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I don't want to do this. And like I was in the middle of like casting Nexus of Fate over and over again. I felt so bad for my opponent. And then Teferi just goes, "I don't want to do this." And I was like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't want to do this."
Well, when you put it that way. Cruel Celebrant, trigger. So we're not going to activate this yet, and we are going to... All right, so Todd is at 9. If we attack for 4... No, we have to attack with everything if we want to kill him this turn. Attack with everything.
At?
We're just going to send it at you.
Okay. Gonna bounce the Judith, and I'll take 4. Go to 5.
All right, and then... Oh, and I go
To
to
28.
25.
Are you at 21? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, 25.
Then
On my next trip.
we are going to... I don't know if that's definitely worth an extra point of damage. Yeah, so we're going to roll up Soren and target Footlight Fiend. Trigger. Target you.
That's not how that works, right?
Target... Oh, player or planeswalker. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm just going to target you then.
Yeah. I go to 4, you go to 26.
Yeah. See, my line didn't even work. Alphaing was great. Go.
Draw. Activate Skanta. 3. Take the Sinister Sabotage. Play my lands. Untap these 2. Your turn.
You have so much lands.
Yeah.
So many manas. I believe... Alright, well, I will demand that you have it. Judith trigger.
Yep.
So get
Thinking.
our Barrage.
I might counter the Judith.
Yeah, I'm just hiding my token down here.
Juice resolves.
I would like to move to my declare attacker step.
Okie dokie.
You're at 4?
Yep.
Thinking. This forces... See, it's awkward. I don't want to play too hard into settle here. But this also beats commence the end game. These are my attacks. God, it feels bad. I don't actually... Yeah, I actually need cardboard in order to beat Cleansing Nova, since this doesn't trigger off of tokens. So I think I have to not attack with that. Maybe actually I'm supposed to attack with Hero, because I don't care if it dies. If I'm playing around Settle anyway, throwing an extra creature in doesn't matter. These are my attacks. We're not under any kind of pressure other than this Teferi. Oh, I guess... No. We're just gonna kill you. Final answer.
Alright, settle the wreckage.
Got him. I'm going to...
Take up.
1 your Teferi. I'm very afraid,
so
you
you're
see.
at 27?
Yep.
You go to 7, right?
Yeah. I'm at
No, on
27 and
the
you're
sword.
4. Oh, yeah. Go.
Alright, let's activate Skanta.
Basically, the only way that we lose this game at this point is this Teferi. So maybe I'm supposed to be pinging you anyway for just inevitability's sake, but it feels like we have inevitability right now. We just need to take your way to throw the game back in your favor.
I will minus on the Judas.
I'm not ready for this yet.
Alright, I will pass turn. And you know I have
I know you have Revitalize. I don't know anything else, to my knowledge.
Okay. Thought you might have known something else, but maybe not.
Do I know about a Blink of an Eye in your hand?
No, I cast it.
I thought so.
Okay.
It's really weird. I would like to double spell, but I keep drawing 3s. They're good 3s, so, like, you know, it's kind of hard to complain that much. I'll find a way, though.
Life finds a way.
I've been so close to this being a relevant card, and it just keeps not being a relevant card. You've cast 2 settles this game, correct?
Yes. 2 settles and a Cleansing Nova.
No, you have Revitalize, so we're probably just not killing you this turn. Triple checking.
Okay, activate.
Yep.
Soren targets, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Alright. I'm just going to get settle and cast it.
It is absurd how bad Cruel Celebrant is against you.
I mean, sure. I was very scared of it because I could never Cleansing Nova, so...
You only have like 2 of those.
Yeah, I know. What now, Chief? Took up to 9.
Yeah, we'll shoot your Teferi.
Alright, you're at 28.
I think we're just on this plan for as long as we can be. Here you go.
Revitalize up to 7.
Yep.
Am I dead? No? Okay. Untap. Draw for turn. Draw with Teferi. And here I think I just win. I will activate Escanta for get a commence the end game. And untap 2 lands and say go.
May I have Gutter Bones back?
Yeah.
Oh, is it a Sinister Sabotage I know about?
Maybe? Yes. We'll say yes. I think you do. I think I did reveal it once off of the Escanta, and that was the one we were thinking about.
Sure.
So we can't activate Escanta and play the commence the end game, but I think that's fine. I'm going to Sinister Sabotage that one.
Sure.
Top card. I think I just don't want Seal Away at this point, so maybe I do. Okay, that's fine.
We're just gonna keep making him have sweepers.
Oh yeah. I should have syncopated that. I'm stupid. Can I do that instead? Because I just am
whatever.
not an idiot. So
1 more mana?
Yeah. My bad.
You're good.
Syncopate that for 3.
Did you mill your Seal away?
It's still on top, but
I
can
sorry.
shuffle it.
No, it's fine. Top card of your graveyard was Seal away.
And
So
you do need to tap your Sacred Foundry.
Oh yeah, my bad. Cool.
Sorry.
Cool. All right.
I missed the onboard thing. I'm sorry. Everyone's gonna be.
We'll
mad at
find
me.
a way to power through this incredibly trying time.
We did have a comment that watching Azorius control is like watching paint dry. So
Look, I'm playing pretty fast. Emma's the one taking all the time here.
That is true. Well, this is going and God, maybe I'm just in like the Hail Mary where I just have to start targeting you, but it feels like it's not a winning strategy, but nothing really feels like a winning strategy.
True that.
So I guess we're just gonna target you.
I'm at 3.
Wait,
No, sorry, I
you
went to 7, I went to
revitalized?
6.
Yeah. 6 to 28, correct?
So I got.
Cool. Or now
Oh no,
29.
you go to 29.
Yeah,
6
yeah,
to 29.
You may go.
You're not gonna attack with us?
No. You've commenced the... Oh, you don't have commenced the end game.
Yeah, I only have 5 mana.
Sorry. The extra mana from
Are you
Syncopate.
attacking me or him? I'm gonna pretend like I don't know Seal Ways on top
Sure,
as well.
sure.
just
This
so
whole turn's just been embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's my fault.
No, it's
ruined it?
mine too. I'm mistapping my mana.
No. Let's kill this. I'll let it die if you attack it. It's fine. Well, I want to activate this. No, I should activate
That's
this.
horrifying. No. I want it to die. Don't make it weird.
It's not that I want to die. It's that it's. I think you should attack it because I can't commence, and I'm at 6.
Sure.
And
All right, fine.
I'm just gonna activate this, and I don't want this to affect things.
Sure.
All right, top 3, 6, 3, 4, 5. You can just take another commence the end game. I'm gonna make a big boy, or 2 medium boys.
That thing doesn't. Wait, you don't make 2.
No, if you kill the first one, is what I mean.
Oh.
So. All right, so draw off turn.
However, will I block?
Fairy, take up.
Yeah, that's what I thought was coming.
Chad, did I play a land yet? I don't think I did.
You have not played a land
Okay.
because you had
Blast
11
zone.
lands last turn. Did that come into play untapped?
Yes.
Holy crap!
Go.
BANANAS.
I could have put some charge counters on it and then untapped, which is pretty cool. Hey, Judith, what's up? Judith resolves, actually. Might want to leave a... No, never mind. Do your thing. Nothing.
I need more dice.
5, you're at 30.
Go.
All right. 3, 6. Draw 2 and make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make an 8, 8.
I have a good one. There's stars out of Eldritch Main? What made that?
I have
G-Sen and Jeroth?
no clue. Probably. All right. Revitalize up to 8.
Oof.
Untap.
Yep.
Draw for turn. Going to just minus on the Soren token. And play another Blast Zone because these aren't legendary, I guess, which is a little weird. I don't know.
Just makes sense.
I have 8 cards in hand, so I will move to discard.
Mm-hmm.
Discard a Chemisters.
Cruel Celebrant.
I will. Guess I'll counterspell it with Sabotage. Top card. Graveyard of Land.
Footlight Fiend.
Sure.
Go.
Alright, so we need to get 1 to 3. So spend 4, tap, put this at 3. And actually it's gone to. We will commence the end game. I deck myself here actually.
I think your 8-8 will, or your 16-16 will find a way.
Maybe.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Draw a card. Move to discard. Your turn.
Combat.
Yep. I'm gonna pop the one on Judith.
Yep. Trigger.
Okay. Yeah, where's the one going?
You.
I go to 7.
Yep.
And then I'll pop the one on 1.
Yep. Trigger upstairs.
I'm at 6.
Yep. Get back bones.
Yep.
Replay Monsieur Bones.
Okay.
Go.
I'll commence the end game.
Yeah.
So draw 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this just becomes a 16-16.
You just have 3 torrential gear hooks now.
Yeah. All right, so we'll draw with the fairy. And then we're so close to killing you with our third commence the end game.
I think things are better this way.
All right, so I can give it plus 11 if I cast another one. Okay, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 6.
It was at 16, so it should be at 27.
Yeah. E for 27.
I'm at 3.
Move to discard.
Yeah.
I don't know if I played a land. I'm gonna play a land. All right.
Sure. What a twist.
Nice sword you got there.
Thanks. Put it in my deck myself.
How you like these, Ross?
He said now cast the sweeper and kill her with the fairy.
Good grief.
All right.
Why you gotta do me like this?
Sync phase? I don't know.
Go.
Okay. We'll minus on your gutter bones and attack you for 27.
We did it.
Got him!
Got there.
Ooh, that was one where I was sitting there just like, God, I sure wish I could concede.
You can.
I can?
At any point.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's in the rules, but like, it's not much fun if you don't get to do your thing.
Yeah, that was cool. Thank you for letting me do my thing. All right. Well, get your questions in now for Mr. Rob. We're going to play one more game to see who wins the first match. 1-1 right now. And we're going to go to sideboarding. We'll be right back.
All right. So we are back for sideboarding. And what I'm doing is all pretty straightforward if you know creature decks versus control decks. I cut some of our lower impact 1-drops just because we saw those games. Footlight Fiend didn't do anything without other cards.
Yep.
Integrity Intervention. The intervention half doesn't actually really kill anything unless I'm already putting work in on a Teferi or something, and integrity is kind of bad against your removal spell stack.
Yep.
Cast down only targets your tokens, which is a really bad exchange. Bedevil is just a slightly better cast down most of the time. Duress is obviously great against the control deck.
Mm-hmm.
And then these are ways for me to recoup card advantage when I expect the game to go long. So nothing too shocking overall.
Yep. And on my side, we're going to be bringing in some more things that affect the battlefield to kind of force Emma to overextend into Settle the Wreckage. Things like Hitzer Benalia, Lear Dawnbringer, and Shalai all establish a pretty potent battlefield while also giving some value to my sweeper effects that just kind of force her to attack with, like, let's say 1 or 2 too many creatures on occasion.
Sure.
We're going to be cutting some of our more reactive things since Emma's a really low to the ground deck with a ton of 1 and 2s. Cards like Sinister Sabotage and Syncopate are quite bad. So we're going to rely on our sweepers and our now board presence to handle the 1s and 2s and 3s, and then usually use Teferi or whatever to mop up some of the things I can't really handle that well.
Sure.
And then since we are cutting a bunch of the instant speed stuff, we're going to be trimming 1 Chemist's Insight because we're not really that draw-go game plan anymore, but we still want some card advantage as the game goes along. And then 1 Blink of an Eye because it doesn't really do that much in this matchup.
Sure.
All right, Mr. Robbo, anything for us while we are shuffling up here for the next game?
We've got quite a few here.
Awesome, let's go. Hit them.
Todd,
Quick hits.
why no Kefnet as a win condition in the main deck of your control deck?
So Kefnet is good when you're playing a spell-heavy deck where all the spells can be cast, or most of the spells can be cast at any given time. I think counter spells are actually pretty bad with Kefnet, and with a bunch of Sinister Sabotage or Absorb or things like that, it's not nearly as good. You want it much more in a deck like is it Phoenix or is it Drake's, where you're going to want a threat that is recurable, that your opponent has trouble actually killing, while also giving you a card that consistently generates an advantage over time, as opposed to just kind of drawing these reactive mopey cards. I do think Hefnet is quite good, but I think that the triggered ability should never really be a thing that you consistently build around, because you have usually, when you play Hefnet, somewhere around like 23 to 26 lands in your deck. So you're going to miss almost half the time, right? At the very least. And that's if you're playing no other creatures. And then with Knight, you're probably going to be playing at least 4 other creatures. I don't know what they are, but maybe some Planeswalkers. So you're only going to hit on Knight like 1 out of every 3 times. So you need to make sure that all those spells can be cast at basically any given moment. So, yeah.
It's definitely the kind of thing where you shouldn't be looking to get super paid for Kefnet. You should just be avoiding playing card or maximizing the number of cards that do anything at all, because it's just kind of gravy if you get to cast spells for free.
Right. It's 4-mana 4/5 flyer to start. That's pretty tough to beat or tough to kill. So it's just a good card, and I don't think it's really a card that goes into a control deck though. The reason why I have like Shalai in the sideboard is specifically because the targeted effect shuts down like Footlight Fiend, Judith's ability, and some other stuff. But it's also an angel for Lyra Dawnbringer.
And then, Emma, is there any thought to a Legion's Landing in your Mardu Aristocrats deck?
Legion's Landing is something that you can put in the deck. The issue is you can't really play Legion's Landing as well as Gutter Bones and or Footlight Fiend. It just stretches the mana a little bit too far. If you have a 1-drop in a certain color, you want somewhere in the area of 10 to 13 mana sources that can play it on the first turn. Mm-hmm. That's why this deck has 2 basic swamps. Yep. So we have specifically Footlight Fiend and Gutter Bones because swamps can cast both of them, and you couldn't play Legion's Landing with either of those cards. If there was like some red-white hybrid good 1-drop that played well with the deck, you would probably see that with Legion's Landing.
Mm-hmm. There's probably also just like an Orzhov Aristocrats deck that plays Bantu that wants Legion's Landing too. Mm-hmm. But that's not a Hero Precinct 1 deck. Like, you need a bunch of multicolored cards to make that worthwhile, I think.
Exactly. A lot of the things in this deck are definitely things where you're just trying to turn your synergies on.
All right, let's do a couple more before we go.
All right. Todd, what do you think about possibly Mobilized District as a win condition, maybe in this blue-white control deck or just in general?
So the 4 mana to make it into a 3/3 until end of turn is pretty expensive if you don't have a bunch of does it say legendary planeswalkers or creatures?
Yes.
So
it's like the Mox Amber Claws.
Yeah. It's pretty expensive. I don't mind the card. I think you can only play so many colorless lands, and I think that Blast Zone is much better for a deck like this. Though I'm more than fine to be wrong. If I had drawn Blast Zone early in those games, I probably wouldn't have used it just because you need to hit those land drops. But something like Blast Zone was so good once I had a firm board position where it was a mana source early on if I needed to be, but as the game goes along, it turns into this sweeper, which is pretty nuts. Whereas something like what's it called? The card you just saw. Mobilized District. I think is much better in like an aggressive deck that plays a bunch of cheap planeswalkers and legendary creatures.
I want to play that card with stuff like Shanna.
Ooh,
that card's really good.
Shanna, yeah. Okay. That's enough. Let's go and play the last game because we were running a little behind here.
All right, let's do it.
You're up first. Keep. Boom. 18. Go.
In the words of some guy on the internet, Ratata.
You've had a guild gate turn one every time, right, Todd?
Say what?
You've had a guild gate turn one every time.
Sure, man. I don't know. You're the one. You're the director.
Go.
Look, this is not nearly as egregious as Ross Merriam's Forest Llanowar.
That's what I was going to say.
Every game. Go.
That is pretty egregious, though. Azorius Guildgate is way better than Basic Forest.
Yikes.
Listen, I love Glistener Elf, but you got to be honest sometimes.
I mean, I feel like fetching Basic Forest is one of the best things you can possibly do in Magic.
Cool, man. Theater of Horrors.
Bum, 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 bum.
No!
18.
You're just like, well, take this.
All right. That Theater Horrors, I'm basically dead. We're going to History of Benalia, and Chapter 1, we're going to make a 2/2. Here we go. Your turn.
All right. Give it now. That's a good one.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yep.
Yep. I'm gonna take 2. I go to 16.
I have you at 3rd.
I gain 3 from the.
Oh, yep.
revitalize. Yeah.
Good talk. Good talk. I'm gonna play this now.
All right.
Then I'm going to play Sorin Vengeful Bloodlord
Sure.
and roll him down
Yeah.
to get back this Footlight Fiend. You may go.
All right. Draw. Chapter 2. Play another history. Chapter 1. I'm the aggro deck now.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
The aggro deck now. Okay. Your go. Yep. Please tell me your hand is all lands.
No.
Rats.
No, not. It ain't that.
No. All gutter bones. Rolled up. Hey.
What do we want to do? Probably just lose, to be honest. Guess we could do things that way. Okay, so let us start on Dreadhorde Butcher.
Okay.
Then we are going to attack for 1.
Block.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I had a half second. I'm like, wait, we talked about this earlier, right? Wait, no, hold on.
Yep.
Go.
All right. Tap draw. 2 and 3. And let's go Eevee. Okay, 1 to me. Upstairs, I'm at 15.
Yep.
I will play. I should probably play this first. No, then you probably would have double blocked. That's fine. I'll play a Shalai. Your turn. Yes.
Honestly, it's
Just
fine.
what I needed. Does theater target a player or a planeswalker? Yes.
Target
Get it.
opponent.
Get it.
Well, I think I'm gonna figure it out.
Oh no. Dead.
Shoot you.
14 to 19.
Oh, I should have gained some life because I have this in play, so I should be up
21.
4 life.
You should be +2 from this.
+2,
and then
plus
+1.
2.
Oh, +3. So you should, let's say 24.
What?
I think we missed three points of damage. Oh, you blocked one too.
Yeah. So,
I don't know, man.
I think I'm at 23.
Sure. I'll just trust you. I think I wrote down too many things all at the same time.
We are professionals.
Well, can't play that yet. Oh, you ticked up Soren.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I think Soren should have another loyalty too, right?
Oh yeah.
+2s.
Haha, so good.
Look, new card.
This card is absurd.
It is pretty strong.
Go.
Boom.
You got him.
Oh wait, you should have 1 less life because the Footlight Fiend wouldn't have lifelink because it's only during your turn, Soren.
It's only during your turn?
Yes.
I didn't know
All right,
that.
so
All right, so you're at 22.
21 because it was 1 less from combat damage and one less from the trigger.
21.
Ross
Great.
said, "Welcome to Versus Live, where the life totals are made up and the plays don't matter."
All right, let's attack both at Soren and see if Emma wants to block.
Yeah,
to save
would.
Soren.
I would rather have Soren than either of those.
Okay,
I will
you're gonna
shoot
deal
you with
1 to me?
Dreadhorde Butcher.
Okay, so I'm at 13, and you
Yep.
do not gain a life because apparently it's not your turn.
I mean, it's not my turn like half the time.
It's true. Blast zone. And I will Cleansing Nova the Theater Force.
End of turn. Get back gutter burns.
Yep. Smart.
Thanks. I made the play myself.
Classic.
Alright, well, this has not stopped working yet, so let's get back to Horde Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
Is that dumb? Am I just supposed to roll this up to get it out of range of your knights?
Maybe. If you have nothing else to do. You have 5 cards in hand.
Thanks. I drew them myself. Well, I added this one to my hand, but you know. Kind of really want to play these. That means I'm probably just supposed to roll up to make sure Soren sticks around. Play this. Play this.
Yikes.
And I think I'm comfy just shocking this in, and I'm going to shoot you with this, so I go to 20, and you go to 12. Here you go.
Well, I had you 21, you shocked. Okay, I got it. I figured it out. Okay. So why did you shock? Just to get back gutter bones? 2 mana. I think I'm missing something.
Ideally.
Also, small misplay. You can only get back gutter bones during your turn.
Does it say that on the card?
Yep.
Huh. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'm just gonna let it fly. Let it lie. Play it as it lies. Attack Soren for 4. I'm gonna Teferi and minus on the Theater of Horrors. Oof. Go.
That is an oof. Well, I'm gonna kill Teferi.
Yeah, as was foretold.
Yeah. I'll go to 21. Dread Horde Butcher.
Yeah.
Heroic Reinforcements.
Okie dokie.
Get us some tokens. Move to the combat step. Is there a world where I'm not just supposed to go? You're at 12?
I'm at 12. All right, so if I take this, it's 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. It puts me to 3.
This is stupid. I'd rather you just be a 5.
Yeah, I'll take 2. I'm at 10.
2 and 2.
Yeah, 2 from this one. It dies. I go to 8.
You're at 8, and I gain a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I go to 30.
Man, Soren is annoying. No, this is still here.
Oh, yeah. No. You're right. Long story short, it just felt like it was way easy for you to just, like, cleansing Nova and then kill Soren cleansing Nova, and I'm, like, kind of out of the game.
Okay, so I don't know the top card is Theater. It's the one under that, right? Can you double check? I just don't remember.
That is correct.
Okay. Alright, you can minus back Dreadhorde Butcher and attack me for 3. If you have another Heroic Reinforcements, I'm probably dead. So let's just go ahead and get the end game started, huh? Pick up, draw, play my planes, untap these 2. Here you go.
Well, have I got a hell of a turn for you?
Please say it's attack for 2 and my land.
That is a part of it.
Actually, I should have untapped this. Sorry.
You good.
Because I don't have absorbed my deck.
Yeah, let's just do the thing.
Yep.
Teferi.
Teferi's at 2, you gain 3 life, you're at 33. Oof. Yeah, I'm in trouble. Yep.
Go.
I will put a charge counter on this. Draw for turn. Draw with Teferi.
For what it's worth, the reason I attack your Teferi, this is more a voice for, I just don't want you to be able to tuck any of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes like your whole turn to get the blast zone up high enough to blow these up.
Yeah, so I can put this to 4 and then untap this another land. I have 1 mana up. I'm at 8 facing down the Theater of Horrors and 4 power. Or I can do other things. I think I will commence. I haven't played a land yet. Sorry. I played the Glacial Fortress. So let's say I haven't played a land yet.
Sure.
That's the end game. So draw 2. Make a zombie that is a 7/7, and then I'll play my land, and then I'll untap Blast Zone and Hallowed Fountain.
Sure.
Here you go.
Trigger. Draw a mystery card. Yeah, draw a mystery card. Then I will look at my top card. Cast Judith.
Okay.
Thank you. What order do I want to do these things? Hit you with Soren.
7 to 34.
Yep. Cast Hero Precinct 1.
Yep.
Cruel Celebrant trigger.
Yep.
I would like to move to combat. All of it at you.
Okay, so if I pop Blast Zone, I take 2.
Can you pop Blast
4,
Zone?
6.
So you need 1 more mana?
Oh, it is 3 tap. Never mind. Okay, so I'm at 7, so I'll block Dreadhorde Butcher. And I'll take 4 combat damage, 2, 3. You're at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You go to 41.
Just dies and you take 3?
So you target me.
Yeah, target you. Cruel Celebrant trigger also target you.
Yeah, I'm going to revitalize, and then I'm going to end up at 2 life, I think. So I go to 6. I take 3, 4, 5. I go to 1 life, sorry.
Okay, and I gain... what is my life total now?
So you're 41 during combat, then you gain 3 more from this, 1 more from this, and 1 more from this. So 5 more, so you're at 46.
This trigger targets Teferi for whatever that's worth.
You have to choose. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, because this is 3 power.
So
it was
okay,
3
so
power. This trigger targets
2.
you. This targets
2.
Teferi. This has to go at you.
Okay.
Sorry,
No,
it
fine.
is.
You're still 46. I'm at 2 instead of 1.
All right. Go.
Probably dead. Probably dead. Draw.
Yeah.
Well, I actually drew not a terrible one. I think this keeps me from dying to your weird stuff. Is Cruel Element target player or just each opponent?
Each opponent.
Yeah, I think we're dead to that. Whatever. You win. Alrighty. Well, that's going to do it for the first match. We're pretty far behind, so we're just going to go ahead and take a short break here while we prepare the second match. If you have any questions for Emma or myself on this match, new cards, or life topics, feel free to ask. Rob's going to pick his favorite. You're going to ask us when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Be right back for more Versus Live.